Hey you guys, so today we're going to talk about dividing real numbers now. Just like multiplication, if you have the same sign, your answer will be positive, and if you have different signs, your answer will be negative. So if I have 10 divided by negative 2, because they're different signs, that does equal to negative 5. When we have a fraction bar, that is the same thing as a division sign. So really, 64 over negative 8 is the same thing as 64 divided by negative 8, which equals to negative 8. And then negative 81 divided by negative 9 does get me positive 9 because I got same signs going on there. You guys were taught two different ways on how to do division. There's long division, and then there is partial quotients. I'm going to go over both ways real quick. I'm going to go ahead and set this boy up with long division. I look at 1 and say, oh, 3 can't go into 1. So I put a little caret over the 9. How many times can 3 go into 19? We can say that's... What are you doing? We can say that's 6 times. Subtract those guys and you get 1. Bring down the 2. How many times can 3 go into 12? 4 times. Subtract those guys, you get 0. There's nothing else to bring down. You have no remainder. 64. However, looking back, I do have different signs, so negative 64 will be your final answer. And then with partial quotients, we say, all right, think of like a big number that you can multiply 3 by. Hey, let's start off with 50. Multiply those two together. You get 150. Subtract them. You bring 42 down. All right, now what's another big number that 3 can go into 42 with? Let's say 10. That's 30. Subtract them. I get 12. Then we know that 3 can go into 12 four times. I add them up. You get 64. Remember to also look back at the initial problem. Negative 64 is your answer. Dividing with decimals. I have 3 separate cases going on here. I'm going to be going through these with long division because that's what I'm most comfortable with. If you know how to do it with partial quotients, cool, you can do it. If it works for you, that's fine. Looking at 79 divided by 2, I say, all right, how many times can 2 go into 7? 3 times. 6 minus 1, bring down that 9. How many times can 2 go into 19? 9 times. I got 18 minus 1. Oh no, I have nothing else I can bring down. You can just put a decimal here with a 0. Bring him down now. How many times can 2 go into 10? 5 times. 10 minus. Now we have our 0. Since we put a decimal here, though, make sure you also put a decimal there. So you have 39.5. Looking back at the original, it's negative 39.5. For this next one here, negative 41.2 divided by 3. It's kind of just the same thing as that last one. I can put 3 into 4 one time. Bring down the 1. 3 can go into 11 3 times. 2. Now, since we have the decimal here, you do have to put the decimal back up there. Bringing down that 2. 3 can go into 22 7 times. Add a 0, bring her down. How many times can 3 go into 10? 3 times. Uh-oh, I'm noticing a pattern. So I could just keep bringing down zeros. However, I know every single time I'm going to get 1 back. So we have 3 is repeating. Looking back at the original, my answer is going to be negative. Negative 13.73 repeating is my final answer. And then for the last one, I have negative 12 divided by 0.4. You want to change this guy so it is a whole number. So I'm just going to go ahead and move the decimal place over 1 time. Since I moved the decimal place once on the outside, I do have to do that on the inside as well. So really, I have 120 divided by 4, which we get our 30. I went through those really quickly. If you have questions, please let me know. All right, fractions. The big thing with these is looking at its reciprocal. The reciprocal is the fraction flipped. So if I have a over b, its reciprocal would be b over a. So to divide a number a by a non-zero b, you need to multiply by the reciprocal of b. So really, if I have 10 divided by negative 2, I could actually write that as 10 times negative 1/2 and still get my answer of negative 5. It doesn't make sense really with integers, but with our fractions, that's the only way to do it. I have 1/4 times 3/2. Now that I have a multiplication problem, I can just go ahead and multiply my numerators, multiply my denominators, and then get my answer. For this next one, 5 over negative 7 divided by negative 10. Again, I'm just taking the reciprocal of the second half, which would be 1 over 10. I can go ahead and start simplifying it. 2. So I have 1 over 14 as my final answer. I want you guys to pause the video and try these two out. These are our challenge problems. So pause it now. Did you pause it? Did you pause it? All right, so just going over how to do these, guys. Remember, the fraction bar is really a division sign. So if I wanted to rewrite this, I could say negative 1/3 divided by 4. And then it would just look like this guy up here. But we know that's a division sign, so I could just go straight into writing its reciprocal and the multiplication fact. So I could just go straight into this bad boy here. Multiplying across, I get negative 1/12. And then for this one over here, same deal. I'd have 2 times the reciprocal, negative 4/3. You can throw 1 under that guy. I'd have negative 8 over 3 as my final answer. All right, let me know if you have any questions. Bye.